Hey everybody, this is Erica with Everyday Gardening. It has been a long time since I've talked to you guys last and made a video. There's been a lot that's been going on, and so I have a lot to catch you up on. So I wrote some notes just to make sure that I covered everything from the last time that we chatted. Where have I been and what have I been doing? Well, about the time that the last video was posted, it was coming up on the fall season, and I had never really planted a fall garden, so really this was going to be a new experience for me, and I've had a lot of failures with the fall garden. However, I did actually learn a lot as well. I experimented a little bit. I didn't want to go full force with the fall garden, one, because I didn't know what I was doing, but also because we had made some plans in the future that is going to be pretty big for us, and I didn't want to invest a lot in the fall garden. So we'll get to that. Some of the things that I experimented with is I did plant some more carrots. The first time I planted carrots in the spring, they were only about that big, and I think it has a lot to do with the depth of my raised bed. And so I just wanted to try it again. And they never really came to the surface, never sprouted, and so I felt like that was a failure. I did do some late planting, so I did have some tomatoes and some cucumbers that popped up, and I got a small harvest out of that before our first freeze had hit. The cool thing about being in zone 8B is that we have longer, warmer weather, so I don't think we got our first real freeze until about this December, mid-December. So I was able to actually get some tomatoes and some cucumbers in the fall time, which is kind of neat. The other thing I experimented with, which I wanted to share with you, is planting garlic. So I didn't order garlic from any particular vendor or to go to the store and pick up any garlic. I actually got it from my local grocery store. I had it because we cook with it, and I decided to break up the garlic and plant it and see what happens. The cool thing about that was that the garlic actually started to sprout, and I would say the heads of them right now are about this big. So I'm anxious to see how that works out. So far, so good. The other two things that I planted was lettuce and kale. And the lettuce and kale was first seed planted in the little pods in my greenhouse, and then I transplanted them into the beds. But the epic fail on my part was they were not protected, so something came through one night and just ate all the heads off of my kale and my lettuce, with the exception of one, which I did cover, and I now have only one kale plant left. So that was a bummer, but I know next time to keep them covered so nothing comes in and wipes them out. So the big news that I wanted to share with you, my husband and I were talking back in the fall time, and we just have a lot of really big goals that we would like to accomplish, and the only way to do that is if we have a little bit more property. Currently, we actually live in a neighborhood in the outskirts of a major city, and it's getting really congested, and there's a lot that we want to do that we can't do obviously in a neighborhood. So we've decided to put our house up for sale and look for something with a little bit more property, which is really exciting. And so that's kind of what I've been up to. I have taken a lot of time to clean and organize and get this house ready to be put up for sale. And we've had a lot of interest, a lot of showings, people coming in and out of the house. So I imagine with the new year, we're probably going to have something, hopefully, fingers crossed, an offer soon, so we can start looking for our bigger property. The holidays hit, of course. I think it was Halloween, then Thanksgiving, of course, and then obviously Christmas and New Year's. So here we are. I'm a little bit late. I really wanted to get a video out the first of the year, but here we are, and it's still the first week of January, so I think I did pretty decent considering. Also, my kiddo got sick, so that spent a lot of time. So really, it's just been life, right? Life just happens. Boom, boom, boom. I do have some really big plans for the future that I'd like to share with you little by little as we start to talk a little bit more often. One of the reasons why we wanted to expand our property was to grow a much larger garden. And so that's exciting. The larger garden is going to be able to hold, obviously, a lot more plant varieties than what I can currently hold in my little garden in the backyard. and I have big plans to grow a lot. And then of course, with all that food that we're gonna, you know, ideally be harvesting, we have to learn how to can that stuff so we can preserve all of the goodies that we get into the garden. So I'm gonna be learning about canning this year. And I'm just gonna experiment. There's some things that I would like to try and grow that I have not grown, and I don't know, let's see what happens. And that part of gardening is to experiment a little bit. One of the cool things that I got this Christmas was a new camera. So I'm actually recording on a GoPro, and I still have some more things that I need to attach to make the lighting better for the camera. And then of course the audio needs to improve, especially when I'm outside. But I'm very excited to have some new equipment that I can start shooting some of these videos as we grow the garden and experience some of this stuff together. It'll be a little bit easier to watch. So I'm excited about that. So what now? So right now I have been so anxious to start the spring garden. We have not sold our house, so I am afraid to invest too much into the current garden that we have. And then I don't know where we're going to be, or if we're going to have to move into a small little place until a house gets built. I don't know what that future holds for us, but I don't want to not continue to garden. So I actually invested, some of you may have seen on my Facebook page, in a shelf and some grow lights, because I'm ready to start planting some seeds and getting them started now. Some of them need to be started now in January, some of them in February. And so I'm excited to share with you that my seed package came in from Baker Creek, and I was thinking I could open it in front of you guys. So let's talk about seeds for a second. So let me open this and see what we got in. So again, you know, I only ordered the seeds right now that I need to be getting started for the month of January, but there are several that I need to get started in February as well. But I didn't want to go too crazy at first because there's so much that I want to try and grow. And again, I don't know what my situation is going to be like with the house. So, you know, don't want to go too crazy too fast. So let's talk about what I ordered. So I got these onions, Weatherfield Red. So I am a big fan of red onions. I love them in pasta salads. I love them in salsa, regular salads. Red onions are kind of a staple for me. And so I grabbed these seeds, which I need to start this month, and I'm excited about those. Okay, the next one, we'll jump into peppers. So with peppers, I love salsa. My husband and I eat a lot of salsa, especially in the summer. And so, well, we got lots of different types of peppers. The first one is the obvious one for salsa, which is the jalapeno peppers. And this again is the Tam jalapeno. This was recommended by one of the YouTubers that I like to watch. Actually, all of these were recommended by the YouTuber that I watch, which is Jess at Roots and Refuge Farm. So shout out to her. And she said these were pretty good. So typical jalapeno for salsa. The next one I got was the serrano peppers. And the serranos are a staple for us as well. We like to make this what we call anniversary sauce, and really it's just taking these peppers and putting them in a bottle with some apple cider vinegar, some water, some spices, garlic, things like that. And you just let it sit for several days, and it just kind of marinates in its own juices, and then you sprinkle that over. People like to sprinkle it over greens. We like to sprinkle it like on, this is kind of going to sound weird, but we like to sprinkle that stuff on our bagels in the morning. So it's a really neat sauce that we like to make, but serrano peppers are pretty universal as well. Let's see, what other peppers do we have? Oh, we do have banana peppers. I love banana peppers. I tried pickling them this past summer, and I actually had some success. Not bad for a first timer. And so banana peppers are really cool to have and pickle. And then we have, I thought these were cute. I've never grown these before, but these are mini bell pepper mix. So they're all, look at all the different colors. There's red and orange, green, purple. So I'm really excited to see these. So this is kind of an experiment for me. I don't know if I'm a big bell pepper eater, but if I'm going to eat some salads, I don't mind chopping some of these up and putting them in the salad. So I'm excited about those. Okay, so let me tell you the story about these. These are the shishito peppers. And we went to a restaurant that's like a farm to table restaurant. And one of the things that they served as an appetizer were these shishito peppers. And they had sprinkled some olive oil and some salt, and basically put them over the flame. And I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but they just had the right texture, and they were some of them were hot. I mean, you get a hot one every now and then, but most of them were pretty sweet. And we just love them so much that I wanted to try to grow them and do them ourselves. So shishito peppers, if you don't know what these are, I've never tried these, I highly recommend these. These were really surprising. And when I say hot, they weren't even that hot, to be honest with you. Okay, so I did order 2 tomatoes. I know I feel like an epic failure with tomatoes, only because I feel like I should have had way more, but I was trying to control myself. So the 2 varieties that I got was the tomato Creole, and I was told that these are really good for canning, and since I really want to try to can this summer and make my own sauces, I wanted something that gave me comfort that it was going to be a good experiment. So the tomato Creole is something that we're going to try and grow this year and make some sauces out of. And this last one is also a tomato, and this is one of the favorites that was recommended by Roots and Refuge Farm, and Jess talks a lot about this one, Dr. Witchy's Yellow. And I was just so intrigued by this one. She made a tomato sandwich out of it, and it looked so delicious, and so I had to get it. I just don't know what else to say. And she grows a lot of tomatoes. She's the tomato queen, and I want to eventually get to where I have 5, 6, 7 different varieties of tomatoes. But because there's the future is so unknown on what's going on, I was just afraid to do too much. So it was a little tempting, that's for sure, when I was looking at the seed catalog. This is the seed catalog that I ordered it from. This is Baker Creek. This is the free catalog. You can actually order their full catalog. It's about $10, like $9.95 for the full catalog. But it really gives you a lot of great varieties. So it's not just your typical tomato. I mean, there's pages and pages and pages of different varieties of tomatoes. I didn't get any cherry tomatoes, I noticed. My husband pointed that out, so I need to order some cherry tomatoes. But there's lots going on here. I mean, it's just really exciting. Let me show you what else they got in here that you can take a quick peek at. Look, more tomatoes, more tomatoes. Here's some squash. So really neat. I've never ordered from them. They do have free shipping for the United States and Canada, and it came in the mail, regular mail. It was probably a little over a week. Now, granted, I did order them before New Year's, so I'm sure the holiday delayed them a little bit, but they were really quick to fill the order. And then with the order came with this seed variety pack, so I'm interested to see what this ends up being. It says it's dark purple opal basil. So this was a free gift that you get for ordering with them. So thank you for my purple basil, because I like purple basil. So really cool. I've been planting the garden that I don't have. As you can see here, I have when my last frost date was. I think I put it right here. And then I listed everything that I had ordered, and then I'm going to order, and I put the dates in which they need to be planted to start the seeds so that I can keep track of it. I'm going to end up putting this into a calendar so I don't forget. But the first ones that I needed to start were these, and I'm really excited to do that. So anyway, a lot has happened. I'm sorry it's been so long. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm really excited to share with you my journey once we actually find a place and we scope out the property for our garden. I'm going to be trying to video as much as possible so you can see the whole experience. I've got this plan in my head on what my garden's going to look like, to include a garden shed where I can put all my gardening tools and seeds and all my goodies in there, and then I have it at the end of the garden so it's visually appealing from the front as well. So I'm super excited, but I have to pace myself. So it will be God's will in His time, not mine. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I hope to post some more soon. In the meantime, take care of yourself, continue to garden, and I really like this saying, grow big or go home. So do that. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.